Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today we bring you the story of a woman whose voice defined an era, whose presence captivated audiences around the world, and whose legacy still shines as bright today as it did when she first took the stage. She is known as the Queen of Motown, the lead singer of one of the most successful girl groups of all time, and a solo superstar who inspired generations. This is the story of Diana Ross. Stay with us until the very end, because this story is not just about music, it's about determination, resilience, and a woman who turned her dreams into a legacy. Diana Ernestine Earl Ross was born on March 26, 1944, in Detroit, Michigan. Detroit would one day become the center of the Motown sound, but in her childhood, it was a city full of hard-working families and big dreams. She was the second of 6 children born to Fred and Ernestine Ross. Life in Detroit wasn't glamorous, but Diana had something that made her stand out, a sparkle in her eyes, an energy in her spirit, and a voice that seemed destined to be heard. Even as a little girl, she carried herself with confidence, like she was born for the stage. In her teenage years, she attended Cass Technical High School, where she studied clothing design, millinery, and tailoring. But more importantly, she found herself surrounded by a circle of friends who shared her love for music. Together, they formed a singing group called the Prumettes. The group was made up of young girls who believed that music could take them somewhere greater. Diana was still a teenager, but she already had the charm, ambition, and voice that made her stand out as the natural leader. The Prumettes auditioned for Motown Records, the rising powerhouse in Detroit founded by Berry Gordy. At first, they were turned away too young, too raw, not ready. But Diana didn't give up. She was determined to prove herself, to show that she had what it took. And soon, the group caught their big break. They signed with Motown, and their name was changed to the Supremes. This was the beginning of something extraordinary. The Supremes started small, struggling with their first few singles that didn't make much noise. But Diana's determination never wavered. She believed in herself, she believed in the group, and she believed in the magic of Motown. And soon, everything changed. The Supremes released Where Did Our Love Go in 1964, and it skyrocketed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That song was the first of 12 number 1 hits that the Supremes would deliver, making them Motown's most successful act of the 1960s and one of the best-selling girl groups in history. Songs like Baby Love Stop, In the Name of Love, and You Can't Hurry Love weren't just hits. They were anthems of a generation. They defined the sound of the 60s, blending soul, pop, and R&B into something timeless. And at the heart of it all was Diana Ross. Her voice was smooth, powerful, and filled with emotion. She had a way of making listeners feel like she was singing directly to them, capturing both the heartbreak and the joy of love. On stage, she carried herself with elegance and poise. She wasn't just a singer, she was a star. But with success came pressure. Berry Gordy recognized Diana's star power and made her the focal point of the Supremes, renaming the group Diana Ross and the Supremes. While this propelled her career even further, it also created tension within the group. Friendships were tested, egos clashed, and the burden of fame grew heavier. Yet, through it all, Diana remained focused on her dreams. She knew she was destined for even greater things. In 1970, Diana made the bold decision to leave the Supremes and pursue a solo career. It was a risk. Many wondered if she could succeed without the group that had made her famous. But Diana had no doubts. She stepped into the spotlight alone, and almost immediately, she proved herself. Her first solo single, Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand, became an anthem of hope and compassion. And her self-titled debut album featured Ain't No Mountain High Enough, a song that became her first solo number 1 hit and one of her signature songs. From there, Diana Ross became unstoppable. She wasn't just a singer, she was an entertainer, an actress, and a fashion icon. She starred in the film Lady Sings the Blues, portraying jazz legend Billie Holiday. Her performance earned her critical acclaim and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. She followed that with roles in Mahogany and The Wiz, cementing her status as a multi-talented star. Whether she was singing on stage or acting on screen, Diana had a presence that could not be denied. Her music career continued to soar throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Songs like Love Hangover, Upside Down, and Endless Love kept her at the top of the charts. She wasn't just surviving in the industry, she was dominating it. Her ability to adapt to changing musical trends while staying true to her unique voice made her one of the most enduring artists of her time. Diana Ross didn't just follow the times. She set them. But behind the glitz and glamour, Diana's journey was not without challenges. Fame brought scrutiny, and her personal life was often under the microscope. She faced criticism, pressure, and heartbreak. Yet, through every obstacle, she carried herself with dignity. She leaned on her strength, her faith, and her love for her family. She raised 5 children, all of whom she has spoken about with pride. To her, being a mother was just as important as being a star. As the years went by, Diana's influence only grew. She became a global icon, performing for audiences around the world. Her concerts weren't just shows, they were celebrations of music, love, and life. Fans who had grown up with her in the 60s brought their children and grandchildren to see her, proving that her music crossed generations. Her impact on artists that came after her, from Beyoncé to Mary J. Blige to countless others, is undeniable. She showed that a black woman could stand at the center of the world stage, commanding respect, admiration, and love. In 2012, she received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and in 2016, she was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, one of the highest civilian awards in the United States. These honors weren't just for her music, they were for her cultural impact, her trailblazing career, and the inspiration she has given to millions. Even today, Diana Ross continues to perform, to inspire, and to share her gift with the world. She remains a symbol of resilience, beauty, and grace. Her story is not just about music. It's about a girl from Detroit who dared to dream big, who faced challenges head-on, and who never gave up. It's about a woman who built a legacy that will live forever. For fans, Diana Ross is more than a singer. She is the voice of memories, the soundtrack of their lives, the queen who taught them to dance, to love, and to believe in themselves. She showed the world that no mountain is too high if you believe in your dreams. This has been the story of Diana Ross, the Queen of Motown, a woman whose music and spirit will continue to echo through time. Thank you for staying with us on Nation of Glory. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful journeys of the icons who shaped Hollywood and the world. Until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and never stop believing in your own song.